unwanted sentence of the mind.
All right, okay. Look, here's one on. Here's a satanic message in rock and roll. And back was I Love Satan Within.
That's good.
You know what we should do on Halloween night?
What's that?
We should play Popeye the Sailor Man. I tell you,
That's very Halloween day.
Oh yeah, you wait to hear the rest of it. I'll see if I can. Actually, see if I can put it on my grab it as fast as I can.
How many files have you collected over the 24 years? Do you have any idea?
Oh.
Have you counted them? Have you the megas? The where do we go from megabytes to?
No. Well, I've got my
terabytes. You have terabytes?
No, I'm up to 500 gigabytes of
500 gigs of backup files.
So
that's a lot of stuff.
All right, this is Popeye the Sailor Man on Halloween.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm going to finish the light. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
He says backwards, give me a fuck now.
Oh yes, now.
No, we can do it one more time.
These are things that you don't hear on the radio, people.
Oh, no, actually, well, yeah, because see, when people come to my live lectures, I play all the reversals I can't play.
What was really funny is back in the day, and this is the truth, back when Ground Zero was on K-Bear, back in Salt Lake City, I would play the Dirty Ones on the air. And I'd have fuck, shit, you name it. I'd have them go on the air. And David says, are you sure you want to do that? And I said, yes. And I said, I'll tell you why. Because if I get an FCC complaint, and somebody says, I heard the word fuck coming out of a reversal, I'll say, oh, really? You heard the word fuck? So that means reverse speech is real? So I wanted somebody to at least complain so I could at least point out that, yes, people are hearing the reversals and it's not gibberish and they're hearing it fine. Go ahead.
Okay, I may be treading on some shaky ground here. But have you got any reversals of Art Bell?
Oh. Jim, you go where I dare not go. Where I've been told not to go.
Yes, I confirm you're walking on shaky ground. Yes, you are. For those of you who know my history, I was sued by Art Bell for $60 million for defamation, but I sued him back for $140 million, and we actually settled out of court. He apologised to me, and I apologised to him. But I do have some reversals on Art Bell.
Are you going to play some reversals of Art Bell on this show, or no?
No, probably not.
Okay, he's not going to do it. I don't want Art Bell to sue my ass either, because I'm just as poor and
you don't want to
broke.
get Ramona.
I'll tell you what.
Oh my God.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, well, I remember the whole Art Bell fiasco, and I got involved with you just like maybe 6 months. And you were getting ready at that point already to go back to Australia because you knew that the bridges had been burned down here in the U.S.
Yes.
But it was in 1998. You were presenting reversals on TWA 800.
Oh, yes.
You were presenting reversals on the NASA secret space program. You were presenting reversals on the, quote, suicide of Vince Foster. I mean, remember all the stuff that happened in your life. You had the shooting at your office, the house fire. And so when Art Bell all of a sudden just decided, well, no, I can't have David Oates on the show anymore. In fact, I even remember you even have a reversal to the effect of Art Bell saying this whole war is fake. You know, I'm not even really mad at David. You I'm following my orders.
It was a very strange and bizarre thing, and there was a lot of series of very strange circumstances that forced me out of the United States back home to Australia in '99.
And what was really odd is that one of the things about David is, a lot of what David has done has raised the eyebrows, I guess, of many organizations. I guess the CIA named one, and the NSA another. I mean, one of the things that David did accidentally, and this is what got him the most fame, was that David had revealed unwittingly the secret plans of the United States government to invade Iraq in the Gulf War back when George Sr. was about to do Desert Storm. And one of the things he did is he was just doing this by accident, and someone was. And how did that happen? And you got investigated, right?
Oh man, that was a hell of a story. Well, I just made contact with a chap in Washington by the name of Scott Jones, who's employed by Congress to seek out new technology to bring them into mainstream. So he come down to my house in Dallas and spent a week with me and was super impressed with the whole reverse speech technology. He went back to Washington and we set up a series of lectures. I was going to be lecturing to the CIA and the FBI, and actually those lectures did actually take place. Oh, long story. But anyway, at the same time, things were hotting up in the Gulf. This was before Operation Desert Storm began.
Right.
And I found reversals on George Bush Sr. that talked about some of his plans. And I'll play two of them. We'll play an innocent one first. So here's George Bush.
I think things are moving in the right direction, and we're pleased so far with the solidarity, cohesiveness of the economic actions that have been taken.
And this reversal says, sent the Seahawk up.
Sent the Seahawk up.
And again.
Sent the Seahawk up.
So the Seahawk is an attack helicopter on aircraft carriers, so here we have him issuing one of his orders. And this is a reversal that got me into trouble. It's a rather innocuous word. I didn't know what it meant at the time. Let's run it forwards.
But we must recognize that Iraq may not stop using force to advance its ambitions. Iraq has massed an enormous war machine on the Saudi border.
And this reversal says Simone in the sands.
Simone in the sands.
And again.
Simone in the sands.
I didn't know what Simone meant, but Scott Jones wrote a confidential memo to then Defence Secretary Dick Cheney, telling him all about reverse speech. This word, Simone. Somehow the memo was leaked to the press, and overnight reverse speech with headlines all over the world. With headlines, what is reverse speech? It's a president hiding secret code word. That was his speech. And subsequently found out that Simone was an Arab word that means a dust storm in the desert or desert storm. So what I had found was a code word that they were using for Operation Desert Storm.
Exactly.
My phone went off the hook within a few minutes of this hitting the press.
Sometimes you accidentally stumble onto something, and that's what reverse speech is all about, is stumbling on what's going on up here and inside, deep down. Go ahead, Steve.
And also, I have a question in regards to all that. Is there any training?
Lie, but you can get them to reveal specific information.
Well, the actual question was, were they doing this purposely? Were they saying these things purposely?
Do you think that Bush was saying that purposely to
No,
send
I
out code?
No, I don't think
It was still just a subconscious,
That
but
was just the unconscious speaking.
But they can program people now to put reversals in certain words and certain sentences. Sometimes I wonder about that about rap tunes, about hip hop tunes. Fuck you. Nothing wrong with that. It's true. Some of it's bullshit, like Kanye West. What the fuck is that shit, right?
I think it's subconscious just on the other stuff now.
Well, I'm not saying that they purposely put it in. What I'm saying is, like you said, maybe they can program certain hip hop artists to say certain things and say certain codes, because they used to do that with songs back in the 40s and 50s. If they sang songs about the purple clouds over such and such, or boot bop, beat 'em bottom, what 'em chew. Nobody knew what the fuck that was, but FDR
Why
knew
would
what
they
it
have
was.
to though, man? If it's ass, tits, me, that is the top 40 songs. Why would they have to do anything else?
Because they can send it out innocuously through code in a top 40 song. I mean, you know, I know who is, she is, he is, we are all together. I mean, come on, what the fuck is that? I mean, the Beatles, of course, were involved.